You are going to want to make this 3-alarm chili. I am telling you, it is delicious. It is delicious. Welcome to A Great Cooker. I'm Sophronia. I am going to share this chili recipe with you. Make it, and you will not be disappointed. I had never heard of alarm chili until I moved to San Antonio. I grew up in Virginia Beach. But when I got to San Antonio as a young adult, my mom discovered in the store these seasoning packets. It said 2-alarm chili. And it was a bit spicy and it was so good. But since then, I've wanted something a bit spicier, but not too hot. And so I have been working over the years on this 3-alarm chili recipe. And we're gonna make it. I'm gonna taste it and give you my honest opinion of how it's turned out. It's gonna come together really easily because we're gonna use the slow cooker. For this chili, we're gonna start by cooking the meat. I have preheated my electric skillet to 350 degrees. It's not as nonstick as it was when I got it, but it's still all right. We're gonna add a bit of oil. I have some olive oil here, but use whatever kind of oil you have. I'm just gonna get this spread around a bit. We're gonna start by sauteing our vegetables. You could actually, we're gonna eventually transfer this to the slow cooker, and you could just put the vegetables directly in the slow cooker, but I think it enhances the flavor if you saute them first. I guess this is maybe gonna be the equivalent of about 2 onions, maybe 2 large onions. And I'm going to salt these. And once this is cooked down a bit, we'll go on to the next step. Turn it to 375. Since these onions and peppers are gonna wind up cooking for a while, like I said, eventually this is gonna make its way into the slow cooker. So it's okay, we can go ahead and add the meat at this point, now that they've sauteed for a few minutes. That was 1 pound of ground beef chuck. I have 3 pounds total. I'm gonna go ahead and season this meat a bit. Just some salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, and my handy dandy meat chopper. Now, I wish I had this my whole life in the kitchen. I think I have an affiliate link for it in the description, but this, yes, it only does one job in the kitchen, and normally I try to, well, actually it's okay if you have something in the kitchen that only does one job, if it does that one job really well. That's how I feel. I used to feel like everything in the kitchen needed to be able to multitask. But this is all it needs to do. It just chops the meat and it makes it so much easier. I'm gonna go ahead and add my garlic at this time. I don't know, maybe this is like 2 or 3 cloves of garlic that I chopped up in the chopper earlier. I think this is only gonna need to cook a couple minutes more. And once I don't see any more pink in the meat, I'm gonna go ahead and drain the grease off. All the ingredients that we're about to add into this crock pot insert is what's gonna make this chili so delicious. This is petite diced tomatoes in tomato juice, and I'm not going to drain this. You can just add it all. This is a can of diced tomatoes with green chilies. And again, no need to drain it. And those green chilies are adding to our 3-alarm chili here. This is just tomato sauce. It's 8 ounces. I actually had a larger can, so I just measured out a cup's worth. And you're going to want to use tomato paste in order to thicken up your chili. This is 12 ounces, but we only need 6 ounces. So I'm just going to roughly take out about half of this. Close enough. You also want a cup of beef broth. You could use water too, honestly. But I have some on hand and it'll enhance the flavor. Now this is going to come down to preference. This is 4 ounces of diced jalapeno peppers, and I'm just going to use roughly half the can. Could use more for more heat, but so, and I have some other uses for the other half of this can. Now I want to take a minute or two here and talk about chili powder. For the entirety of my life, I always just used regular chili powder in my chili, and it is fantastic. It definitely works, but this is not chili powder I'm holding in my hand. This is what I meant to have. Now that I have discovered this hot Mexican style chili powder, this, if you have this, you can get it, as you can see, from Wally World. But I use half of this and half of this. But you could use a full 2 tablespoons of regular chili powder. You could also use a full 2 tablespoons of this Mexican hot style, but I'm using 1 tablespoon of each. This is the regular chili powder. The reason why I'm not using all Mexican style chili powder is because it has heat in it. It has peppers in it that are making it hot, and I don't want to, I'm trying to stick with it being a 3-alarm chili. Of course, all of this talk of alarms is highly subjective, and I have a family member who says this is actually closer to a 4-alarm chili. But when you make this, when you make this, leave me a comment and let me know what you think. You can use regular paprika, but we're going to use a teaspoon of smoked paprika. And actually, you know what? We're going to use 2 teaspoons. This is cumin, and we're going to use 2 teaspoons of cumin. One teaspoon of onion powder, approximately. 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. I'm not sure if that's a full teaspoon, but it's close enough. There's a bit of oregano in the Mexican chili powder, but we're gonna use about half a teaspoon. I have a teaspoon in my hand. We'll just use a full teaspoon. It's hard for me to say exactly how much salt. So, you know, you want to salt to taste because it's tomato sauce. You know, you're going to need a bit of salt. 1 teaspoon of black pepper. And this is for extra heat. Again, I think this helps add to the number of alarms. This is chipotle pepper. Well, it's actually cayenne pepper. And so we're going to use approximately half a teaspoon. And then also for heat, about half a teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes. This is the spoon with the tomato paste on it. We're going to stir this up. And I can already smell this. My stance on chili is to cook it let it set overnight in the fridge, and then serve it and eat it the next day. But that's just me. Now, do I always do that? No, I don't. But I actually am going to do that today. So I'm going to cook this today, and then tomorrow I will come back on camera and I'll taste it and I'll give you my honest opinion. Now, I've made this chili many, many times before. This is actually my perfected recipe. You will be very happy when you make this chili. You might not agree on whether it's 3 alarms or 4 alarms, but you will agree that, I believe you will agree that it is delicious. This is the ground beef that I drained after I finished cooking it. It cooked down quite a bit, but this is gonna be, should be the right amount given the ingredients that we've already added to our slow cooker. But we can add liquid if we feel like we need to. All right, I'm just gonna get this all mixed up and incorporated. Let's see how it's looking, see if we think we're gonna need any liquid. Let me know in the comments, do you usually make your chili the day before and serve it the next day? I mean, I make so much chili that even if we do eat some that day that I make it, there's still chili for the next day. Anyway, and it definitely tastes better that next day. This is what it's looking like. I feel like it could use a little more liquid. So I'm just gonna add a bit more beef broth. Not that much, just a bit. And I'm gonna keep my eye on this as it cooks. I'm gonna go ahead and put the top on here. You can cook this on high or low. I'm gonna go with low for about 6 hours. And we'll come back and taste it. Before I taste this chili, I do want to tell you that I am prepared. I have some water. I know technically, I think you're supposed to drink milk to really combat chili peppers, but I don't drink milk. It might be psychological, but I probably will be sipping from this. Also, I want to let you know that A Great Cooker now has memberships. We have 3 different tiers. Make sure, and if you're interested, check in the description. We'd love for you. You're already a part of our community by watching our videos, but if you want to get even more involved in the community, make sure and check out the link for that in the description. It's been sitting up for a little bit. I reheated it. I did wind up doing what I said I was going to do, which I let it rest in the fridge overnight, and so it should be very tasty. So let me give it a try. I think it's cooled down enough so I don't burn my tongue. Still hot. Oh my goodness. Wow. I can taste the onion and the garlic. Oh boy. The heat didn't hit me when I first tasted it, but it only took a few seconds for it to catch up with my throat. But this has really good flavor. This has really good flavor. When I cooked this yesterday, I probably added about 1/4 to 1/2 cup more of beef broth. And I now see that I didn't really have to do that. As you can see, it's just slightly watery. It's not bad, but it is slightly watery. So I would say just stick with the 1 cup if you use the same measurements that I use to make the chili. Let me take another bite here and see what I can tell you about it. Oh my goodness. All of the different heat spices I used are doing their job. The jalapeno, I think I used chipotle pepper seasoning. I think I put red chili flakes in here. You saw the video. Believe me, all of that is hitting. I still feel that this is a 3 alarm chili because, as you can see, I haven't actually had to take a drink yet. But, you know, I think that it's definitely open to interpretation. So let me know in the description once you make this and you give it a try. Tell me what you think about the heat factor. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.